Chat, it's your boy Max, man. We back with another video, back with another episode of React with Max. And today episode, we got tonight Jake saying Glokknine total 4 bodies to the fans, in the fans. So we finna get to it. We finna see what they talking about with Glokknine. We finna get to this shit, man. You feel me? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share the video because we is here to stay and we ain't going nowhere. Let's get to it, chat.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 10.
We can bait.
90 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Orlando Rap-esque. Gotta be a little more careful. Just hit my desk of him snitching in the Fed. Was hit with crazy RICO charges. There was a gang war between his group, AFNF, and then Hot Boys group 438. Cutum Reese was involved. Fucking Glokknine allegedly went to Cutum Reese's house, shot it up while Cutum Reese's mom and sisters were inside. Like, he wasn't even there. But the craziest thing about it all is Glokknine is supposed to be cousins with Cutum Reese, so he shot his own aunt's house up. Like, the story is just extensive. But 2 years ago, Ola Run, as y'all can see right here, accused Glokknine of snitching while they were in the same federal prison, and it was said Glokknine actually got stabbed behind the situation. Multiple shootings, multiple attempted murders, and I'm not the only person that's covered this situation. You know, we got some big channels, Hip Hop Daily, Trap Geek. I don't know who this one is, but let's actually just take a look at Trap Geek.
The Disney World RICO chat is crazy.
Geek's masterpiece, because this is, if I've never told y'all before, Trap Geek is the reason I ever got into these documentaries.
And then in Florida, history is crazy. Like, we ain't home on John Doe, Booby Boys, and largest crew takedown in Florida history is crazy.
Style videos that I started doing after
we ain't got Big Ike them down there. Like, what's going on, man?
Speaking on my time in prison. So big shout out to him. I always wanted to talk to him. I think I reached out on Instagram, but he just went missing. He's one of the mysterious ones on YouTube. But let's jump into it.
Orlando, you think about Disney. Even though we ain't never been to Disney and shit ain't sweet, but people think about Disney when they talk about Florida.
When we think of Orlando, we think of Disney World. We think of Orlando Max.
I ain't gonna lie, being from Orlando and not being to Disney your whole life, it's like being from Miami and not on the South Beach or Bayside or Sunset or little shit like that. You feel me? Like, that's crazy.
Magic.
Why everybody get that concept of Disney and all that? I don't know. I guess that's just how they see it from the outside.
Well, the FBI typically doesn't telegraph our moves. What I can tell you is that these two gangs, the 438 gang and the Army gang, have got our attention now.
The other 5 already in custody are responsible for nearly $2 million in stolen property.
This beat is nasty.
59 stolen vehicles and 19 stolen firearms.
The prominent people at the top, just between those 8 people, they're responsible for 230 felony charges. Jaquavius Smith, better known as Glokknine, just him himself has been arrested for 52 felonies.
Hi, what is up, everybody? It's been far too long. The last episode was in Florida, and for this video, we gotta return there once more. This time to Disney World's Orlando, where folks witnessed one of the largest RICO cases in state history, Operation X, take 34 people down from 2 separate crews. To show you what this looks like, the entire Bobby Shmurda and GS9 indictment was 63 pages. This RICO case in Florida is 700 pages long, with the
God, like y'all cases was when this happened.
This RICO case in Florida is 700 pages long, with the
God, like y'all don't even understand how big of a case this was when this happened. It's so much deeper than a lot of people know. And the thing is, I mean, technically Disney's in Kissimmee. It's not in Orlando.
I ain't gonna lie, that's the same shit, bro. I hate when niggas do that shit, bro. Like, that's the same shit, man. That's like Miami and down south, bro. It's down south is Miami, but it's just a different county, bro. You feel me? Like Orlando is, Kissimmee is in Orlando, bro. It's just a different fucking county, bro. That's all it is, bro. So it's definitely still Orlando.
One of my first memories as a kid that grew up north, coming down to Disney when I was young, like 5, maybe 6, I don't know. I was in the car with my aunt, my grandmother, whoever else, and we're somewhere in Orlando or Kissimmee or one of the above, and this orange car pulls up with rims taller than me, and it was nothing but black dudes, and the music with the and I just remember everybody in my car was scared. Like, and if you go to Orlando, like go to downtown Orlando on a Friday night, you'll see what I'm talking about. You're gonna feel a little, if you ain't used to that type of environment, okay, you're gonna feel a little out of place.
Fedss stalking people at concerts and putting informants in place to make controlled phone calls. One side, AFNF, or the Army Gang, is led by the popular rapper Glokknine. The face of the other side, 438, is well-known rapper Hot Boy. Both of them were good friends coming up in the industry together till it all went left, escalating into this year-long war that came crashing down quick, with folks hanging out the windows of cars, wielding AK-47s in broad daylight, hitting daycares and memorials. The city saw 30 back-to-back shootings in 6 months, and it forced Orlando to bring in the MBI, or Metropolitan Bureau of Investigations, basically Florida's version of the FBI, who built this whole case using wiretaps, Instagram, and evidence they found on people's phones. Sometimes thousands of photos and videos that map out drug routes from Orlando to California, with folks taking trips back and forth, smuggling hundreds of thousands of dollars in suitcases, flying girls out separate to bring the product home, where they launder the profits through cars, guns, and show dogs. Glokknine, who signed a $2 million deal with Young Money and Birdman when he was only 18, now faces 52 charges, including frauding the government out of $10,000 through a series of PPP loan scams that got intercepted when he tried showing it off to his friends on Instagram. And when the news dropped of a pending RICO charge, his once friend turned rival, Hot Boy, decided to go on the run, and then turned himself in, but then went on the run again after they revoked his bond.
I love how I'm watching this, like I don't know all of it.
I never knew that them niggas was cool before they started beefing. So this some whole new beef. Like this is a new beef. Like y'all didn't grow up like into it. I'm thinking this whole time I'm thinking like they hoods grew up into it with each other and some shit. Like you feel me? Like these niggas was cool, man.
But you know, that's just the power of Trap Geek. You jump in a video and then all of a sudden you've been watched like 4 of them, right? But what I want to do is I want to take y'all over to the accusations. Obviously, y'all have got a brief history on who they are, the type of things they were doing. I want to get to the snitching accusations because it wasn't really a question when he first got picked up if he was snitching. Obviously, somebody was gonna, but no one thought it was gonna be him. And then these accusations came up.
September 19th, 2023. Atlanta rapper Ola Runt would take to Twitter with a surprising accusation saying, "Damn Glokknine, you went out bad," followed by 2 rat emojis. This was enough for the fans and bystanders on the internet to take off with rumors and speculation as Orlando rapper Glokknine was now accused of snitching. This was the same rapper who's been hit with a Florida RICO, tied to a gang war within Orlando, and allegedly shot up his own cousin's house for being in an opposite gang. But the craziest aspect of this new allegation is while both rappers are currently in the same federal prison. Ola Runt was arrested back in 2020 within Operation Phoenix, and FBI takedown of 12 of Atlanta's most violent offenders.
Did y'all see who else was in that? Y'all see Woody? I don't think he had nothing to do with this situation, but yeah, man, they got Woody in there. That's crazy.
FBI takedown of 12 of Atlanta's most violent offenders. He'd be indicted by the feds after being found in possession of an FN-57 pistol loaded with 21 rounds, and after a guilty plea, he'd be sentenced to 57 months in federal prison. Glokknine, on the other hand, was named as the leader of a gang known as the Army, or AFNF, based in the Mercy Drive area of Orlando. He'd be one of 34 people indicted on RICO charges stemming from what law enforcement described as a war with the rival 438 gang.
Let's just skip to the part where we're talking about the snitchery.
USP Hazleton. Known as Misery Mountain, it's made headlines in recent years with the infamous prison murder of Irish crime boss Whitey Bulger, who met a brutal ending only
that was that prison.
Hours after arrival.
I remember this when he died.
Bro, they beat that man with locks. They said that
they fucked him over.
They said that they pulled his eyes out or cut his tongue out, all types of shit.
They did him weird. The mob boss, they did his ass weird.
They fucked him up bad.
The biggest red flag within a federal case would be a 5K1 motion, which essentially means a sentencing reduction in return for substantial assistance in the prosecution.
A nigga found a 5K1, bro. What?
Of others, aka snitching. Glokknine definitely doesn't have a 5K1.
Oh, okay.
But what was interesting is a few pages of his plea deal.
Here we go.
On page 6, the 12th term of the plea is cooperation.
Of course, the 12th term of the plea is gonna be where my fucking little box is that shows me.
In which the defendant, or
so why not move the box?
agrees to cooperate fully with the U.S. investigation and prosecution of others.
So basically, I can remember what the gist of this was, right? In his plea agreement, he was agreeing to cooperate, but there was no cooperation, which is retarded, right? And he had his lawyer go back and take that section out completely, and they came out with a new plea agreement. So it was said that Ola Runt must have had the old plea where it said he agreed to cooperate, and he didn't have the new one that said he refused. Does that make sense? So because of that, they used the old plea against him. Some shit happened. He gets poked up, whatever. But the paperwork we now have tells a completely different story. Now, this is the official Orange County Clerk Court Records website. This is
all that Jake be doing, all this and that. Jake showing y'all how to go get paperwork, gang.
It's gonna be every single case Glokknine has ever caught, but we want to specifically focus on this one here. Now we're just gonna scroll down a little piece. October 27th, 2025, this transcript was filed with 99 pages. This is what we're gonna get into. Now, this is a motion to suppress, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is my first time reading through it as well, so we're gonna briefly skim, and if I skip it all, it's because it was just bullshit. So they bring up Glokknine's former lawyer as a witness, and there's a direct examination. Good afternoon, tell me your name. He's an attorney, and it's basically just gonna talk about his background, what he does, what he did. Now, this is saying he was an attorney for Glokknine. To the best of my recollection, the first case I represented him on was either a 4 or 5 count attempted murder case. The case eventually got, thrown out. He beat it on the day of trial. I also represented him on a couple of state charges for possession of a firearm. And you were actually representing Mr. Smith in this very case that we're here on today. I didn't mention that. What I mentioned was in the cases that I completed with him, but I did represent him on the current RICO charges that are pending against him. Now this states, they're asking where he was on April 6, 2023, and where was Glokknine. He's saying Glokknine was in federal prison in West Virginia, the one that we were just watching the video about, right? And it states that detectives traveled to this West Virginia prison to interview him. Now this is where things are about to get interesting, and I just want to, Glokknine fans, y'all are gonna have to hold this one. This one's gonna suck for y'all. What did the detective tell you occurred? He said they went to see him and they were investigating a homicide, and they believed that Jaquavius had some information for them, and that they told him that this was the one and only time they would go see him. But when he asked to speak with me in the interview, they said that was a reasonable request and that they would extend that offer or go visit him one more time if he wanted to speak with him. So basically what they're saying is they wanted to talk to him. They wanted information on a murder. He asked to talk to his lawyer, which isn't a bad move. He also told me this would serve two purposes for, in theory, two separate cases. He told me that he has an affidavit, a lengthy affidavit for an arrest warrant for Glokknine on a homicide, where he would conspiracy to homicide that he had drawn up, and Jaquavius had a choice of cooperating and he would be a witness in that, or not cooperating. He will walk that warrant over to the judge. So basically, they went to Glokknine and said, look, you either cooperate in this case as a witness, or we're hitting you with conspiracy to commit murder. Conspiracy to commit murder means he must have had something to do with the planning of this. So this is meaning he would be cooperating against his own people. Okay, so his lawyer is saying he's trying to negotiate the case to go away. Glokknine will cooperate in the 4 murders. Dexter Rents, Demetrius Cox, Dominique Aldridge, and Cordell Otwell. These are all 4 murder victims. And his lawyer is saying, to the best of my memory, those are the names that he was providing and discussing. They asked the lawyer leading up to whatever. They asked the lawyer leading up, was there in fact a statement or a proffer that was given by Glokknine subsequent to April 6th? His lawyer would say yes. Now this would get further into Glokknine didn't want to give a statement without his lawyer present. And the reason for that was he just wanted to make sure he was getting what he was told. And I mean, on countless pages, they're basically breaking down, he's gonna get immunity. He's not gonna be charged with the murder. His lawyer's trying to get the RICO.
I ain't gonna lie. Glokknine, I'm knowing Jit didn't want to tell. He definitely didn't want that charge. Glokknine probably see all these niggas out here telling. Smooth. He think he finna tell. You know, he getting his exposure. So he telling him to come home and it's gonna be good. You feel me? Like, don't nobody care about the streets no more, bro. Like Glokknine, you go do what you gonna do. Alright, whatever, bro. Just come home, get on your shit, bro. Just stay out the way, bro. Cause it's like, you feel me? Just stay out the way, kid.
Thrown out completely. Glokknine,
I really don't even give a fuck no more, Chad. It's like, it is what it is. Maybe because I ain't in the streets no more. Like, I don't care for the streets no more. You feel me, Chad? So it's like, damn.
is sitting down with the feds in a West Virginia prison. They're telling him they have a warrant for murder, an affidavit that they could turn into a warrant. They could sign it, they could charge him with murder, or he could cooperate. And he's saying, I'll cooperate, but I want my lawyer here so I know I am getting my end of the deal. Now this right here on page 36 states, during the interview, Glokknine provided incriminating information against himself relating to the murders of Dexter Rents, Demetrius Cox, Dominique Aldridge, and Cordell Atwell. So he gave the interview and he told them some things that could hurt himself. Now right here, the lawyer is saying that he had a chat with Glokknine to make sure he understood the conversation, that he couldn't lie, and that if he doesn't do his part, he's not gonna get the benefits. He needs to be truthful. Everybody flew up there for it. You know, they gotta fly investigators from Florida to fucking West Virginia. He's telling Glokknine, if he isn't truthful, this is gonna be a waste of time. They made sure he understood. He acknowledged that he understood. They went in. We also again discussed what he was getting in terms of benefits in the case. And it states right here on page 38, tell the court what those conversations were, or after the interview, or after the proffer of Mr. Smith on May 18th, 2023. What conversations did you have with the police officers? And Glokknine's own lawyer would say, when we walk.
But ain't that like attorney-client privileges? Like, how they getting around that though? Oh no, it's crazy shit.
Walked out, everybody was surprised at how well the interview went. Now, I don't think we're gonna get all the details from these transcripts, and it's hard for me to understand what exactly the motion to suppress is for. Like, are they mad that he didn't get certain benefits or whatever the situation is? But Glokknine 100% sat down with the feds, gave a proffer, made statements, and solely for the benefit of saving himself from another murder case. And people are gonna be like, oh, but who did he give information on? I mean, we might not know that, but we know he gave it. because there was no other purpose for him to sit down. Meaning Jaquavius provided.
That's how motherfuckers go cite themselves out. He ain't told because ain't nobody get locked up.
Provided the information that they wanted. They were absolutely shocked that they did, and they were very happy that they did. There was a comment by me to make sure that I knew, but yeah, it was a recurring basic interjection of our conversations throughout. Not only as we were walking out of the prison, but through the ride to the airport, that they were surprised that Jaquavius, aka Glokknine, was forthright with them and answered their questions. So the police officers told you that he had
They probably ran across him plenty of times. He ain't want to, you feel me? Now he want to.
provided significant useful information. They said he did great. They were surprised, and yes. With that being said, I think Glokknine's career is, it's obviously over. You got hit with what, like 8 years in the feds? You know what I mean? But while being in there, deciding to work with the feds, that's crazy. And it makes more sense as to why he got poked up, if that's actually how that played out. The mafia, if you listen to all the guys that do interviews, the former mob guys, they say you can't even sit down and hear what the offer is. Never mind actually go through with the interrogation. And there's no rebounding off of this. If the police want to investigate 4 murders and they sit you down and say, if you don't help us, we're going to charge you with murder. And then when they leave, they say, damn, he told us everything. I was surprised at how much fucking snitching he did. Like, you got the police high-fiving. They didn't even expect you to do what you did. That's terrible. That's not a good look for Orlando. But hey, let me know y'all.
I want to know what Hot Boy gonna say about that.